Okay, so we are looking at May 18th, 1977, 8:30 p.m., Denver, Colorado, for the birthday for this gentleman here, and we are looking at Berlin. Now, when looking at Europe here, I'm seeing there's some interesting combinations, really interesting energy through Belgium and the Netherlands. But let's get into Berlin here. So, right through Berlin, we have Uranus. Now, Uranus is a really interesting energy. It's more transformative. It's kind of a place to like go and to transform and then to basically get the transformation, make transformations, and typically leave. I don't often see people wanting to stay in the Uranus energy. I often see them moving around from place to place and not really like grounding down, but it can happen. Um, and saying that this is the dawning of renewal of interpersonal relations. You look for and find connections with unusual people whose circle of influence is extensive. Those people with whom you had no contact in the past create change and revive your private as well as professional life. You have a strong interest in intimate relationships, fascinated by exotica and extravagance. You forget all your moral principles as well as those concerning faithfulness and a responsible attitude and throw yourself head over heels into the realm of passion. Now, of course, that's not going to be for all people, but it definitely seems to be an astrological possibility with this energy. Like I said, Uranus is a transformative energy. It's kind of like the storm that rushes in and creates this big energy and then leaves. So that's typically what I see with Uranus. People that want to go to Uranus usually go there for a transformation. They experience their transformation. They will transform others or the culture around them, and then they move on. Typically, it's not a place to settle. That's more of a place for like the moon to retire or any of the four best lines, which are Jupiter, Mercury, the sun, and Venus. So, yeah, Uranus sometimes can be a little bit unsettling. I've had experience where being near a Uranus line, I've been moving from place to place, and it doesn't seem like it can really settle down. So I experienced it myself. I just did a reading yesterday for somebody that's been on Uranus that has just been moving constantly from place to place. But we found a career as somebody that fixes bikes and constantly transforms people's transportation. So and he constantly transports himself all over too. So let's just keep going with that. It is a moment. It is the moment that counts. Even if the encounters are short-lived, the intense experience of a love that is spontaneous and free of convention could become a decisive and personal turning point. So there it is. The change, a decisive and personal turning point. I usually see people wanting to go to Uranus to experience a change. Maybe they're ready for change. Maybe they didn't know they were ready for change and then they're there and then they experience it. So that typically seems to be the theme. I've done hundreds of readings now for the past couple of years, and that's just what I've noticed. This can also lead to serious confrontations with your existing partnership. Modern and emancipated understandings of communal living can present a challenge and cause stress. This line can act as a test of your flexibility in relationships. If you are not prepared to accord your partner the same rights as you would want yourself, then you should stay away from these regions. I do notice that when you go into a place that's ruled by Uranus, it's not really for the steady. It's not really for the Saturn or the Capricorn or the long-term committed type of energy. This is the kind of energy of like wham bam, keep going. And it could be different depending on your chart. Like I would have to look at your birth chart and to see where Uranus falls in your chart and how that could affect you. But yeah, so let me know any questions that you have about this energy. I do feel like this is we went through a Uranus transit in the 60s that was like the transformation of culture. That we're also going through it again in recent times. And so that's why we're seeing all this transformation of culture. Uranus is the planet of transformation. Uranus is the planet of I want to change. And it's kind of like the tower, the tarot card, that it's like everything gets torn down to rebuild. And so, not always, like I said, an energy of constancy, but an energy of transformation. So, yeah, let me know if you'd like to have any other information. And I hope this finds you well.